Hi, this is 365801 and this is my Mangahaul video for the month of March 2021. So yeah, I know I said that my maximum purchase number per month was going to be around 7, and that even in February I already went over the 7 mark, but I justified. I made excuses for myself for the purchases that I made, and therefore got the number down to 7. So I kind of felt like that was okay. But I also mentioned that I had several large boxes sitting out in the hall that I was not going to open, and that I was going to save for March. So yeah, I have a few boxes, and I opened a few boxes, and this is the number I've got. So it's a lot more than 7, but I do have reasons for that, and I'm sure you'll see in a bit. There's some good ones though, there are some good ones, and some that really do help with my collection as well, so I'm happy about it. I'm happy. So this first one that I'm going to show you is just like a single volume that I purchased. I got it for £4.49. It was up on eBay for, I think it was like £8.99 or something like that for a while, or maybe it was even £14. I'm not entirely sure, but it was more. And so when it went down to £4.49, I thought, oh, that'd be alright. I could totally handle paying that for it, because it is volume 2 of Flower of Life, and this is a 4-volume series. At the moment I have volume 1 and 3, and so in my own mind I'm considering this as sort of complete because I don't think I'll ever get volume 4, but to be fair, I have never actually looked. I've never gone out my way to get this. Now, Simply G goes on and on and on and on and on and on about Fumi Yoshinaga. So yeah, they just released the podcast Read Left to Right, and it's a special Fumi Yoshinaga episode, so go check that out. I'll put a link somewhere. And in that podcast they do talk about Flower of Life. I have not ever read Flower of Life. I actually have not read a lot of Fumi Yoshinaga's works. I have a lot of them. I have, I think, all of their BL works. And this was a digital manga publishing DMP one, so I didn't really think that much of it. And I've since learned that it's more difficult to get volume 4. I think I have seen volume 4 for sale on eBay at least once or twice. But because I was not that bothered about it, I didn't like go, oh, I should get that, or look to see what the price was. So I have no memory of whether or not it was incredibly expensive. But I have heard that it is very expensive to get. And I don't really know anything about this story. I'm assuming it's not really a BL, but it is Fumi Yoshinaga, so there might be queer characters. So, yeah, so I'm interested to have it. I will probably eventually get round to reading volume 1, 2 and 3 together, because I now have them, and at that point I will be annoyed that I don't have volume 4, but until then I can hold off that disappointment till I actually read it. So yes, £4.49. I thought that was a good deal because this has been reduced in price. Volume 1 and Volume 3 especially, is very easy to get hold of for very, very cheap. Volume 1 is also quite easy to get hold of for quite cheap. So Volume 2 was the next one. And then, of course, Volume 4. Who knows? Maybe I'll get it at some point. But happy to have this in the collection, and it does add to a gap. This title that I am showing you now is absolutely fantastic. Woohoo! It's not actually a fantastic title, it's just fantastic that I have it. This is part of my sort of white whale group that I've been trying to get for a while. This is Mamiya Dollhouse. This is by Kazuhiko Mishima, a June manga title. This I have been watching for months and months and months on eBay, and it finally got reduced, and it got reduced down to £4.49 as well. So I was like, yeah, you're going in my car. I'm having you. Especially because it was listed at 10 times that price. No joke. It was almost 50 quid. And I obviously was not going to be spending that much money on it I'm like, no. So yeah, £4.49. I was so happy to be able to pick this up because it's the exact same volume that they were listing for 50 quid. And then they just were like, well, no one's buying this. We'll drop it down to half recommended retail price type thing. So I was like, yeah, I'll have it now. Thank you. I've been waiting long enough. So I'm so entitled to it. I am not. I'm very grateful that I was able to get it for such a good price. And especially because this is one of the later ones. There's a certain like time period, and those tend to be the ones that are the more expensive and the more difficult to get hold of, the rarer ones, the ones that are like being listed for a lot more. And they're around the 2010, 2011 mark. So yeah, this was published in April 2010, which is probably why it seems to be going. It's not in like absolute pristine condition, but it's in pretty good condition. There's just a little bit of curling on the front cover. And it's quite thick as well. There's actually quite a lot to it. So, it also kind of has this sort of premise that sounds like Hybrid Child. So I'm not sure if I'm going to enjoy it. That's not to say I don't enjoy Hybrid Child. I do. It wrecked me. Oh my god, it wrecked me. I mean, Hybrid Child people don't talk about enough. It's almost like it's forgotten. It's Nakamura Shingaku's forgotten work that was brought back with an anime that people then promptly forgot about. And I think it's because when you actually do read it or watch it, it hurts. You're like, I don't want this. This is sci-fi and BL together that hurts. I don't want to. So yeah, I'm interested to see this one. It does have lots of short stories in it. It's this art style is very much Kazuhiko Mishima's art style, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I'm so happy to have this in my collection, and it's in not bad condition. So for £4.49, I cannot fault having it in my collection. So I was very happy when this arrived. Another white whale ticked off and another gap filled in my collection. Now the next lot of titles to show you is all encapsulated within this shot. And it's all the boxes that I had arrive. Most of the ones I get are like little envelopes, but this was 3 boxes and one of them was quite a small one, so we're going to go through that one first, just to show you. And I was kind of excited to get it. It is one that is quite difficult to get in the UK. I'm not going to lie, I probably spent more on this than I really wanted to, but not massively. And the reason I spent more on it is because it actually came with an extra volume. Now, I already own the extra volume, and the extra volume is Nights, or Night S. I always just say Nights, and that's Yoneda Ko's title. I'm happy to have another volume because my print volume is in my other collection. So I'm quite happy to have this volume here, but it does mean that I have 2 copies of Nights, which I'm fine with. 3 if you count my Japanese. I do like reading it. It's a lovely one. I think I've read it a couple of times now. I read it last September as well for the Buzzword Readathon. So happy to have Nights, but mainly I bought it for the Net Comics Love Full of Scars by Psychedelico. Now, Psychedelico is someone who has written some works that I absolutely love, and has written some works that I'm like meh about. So I don't know where this particular Net Comics volume is going to fall. The fact that it's Net Comics, I think, does add to the fact that it's a little bit more difficult to get hold of. This one, I don't think I've ever seen it come up in the UK for sale, or even in Europe. Maybe in Europe. But no, I've seen it in North America, and then of course you have to pay all the shipping fees, and it's way too expensive. So I was very happy to get this because it does kind of fill in that gap. Net Comics, as you all know, is very much to do with Korean works of BL, so they do have only a few technically Japanese manga works that they've published, and Love Full of Scars is one of them. Now, Psychedelical, I gotta say, Psychedelical is kind of a bit of a sore point. Every time I see Psychedelical, it just kind of riles me up a bit, and it makes me angry about the whole June Manga Kickstarter thing. I've like $400 or more invested in that Kickstarter, and it's been, I don't know, 5 years? 5 years? I think it's around 5 years. Is it 5 years? Something like that. And the reason why I was investing in it was purely because they said that they had the license for Strawberry Chocolate Vanilla. Like, I already have their digital titles. I didn't need the print versions of them. And what I wanted was the 2 extras that they haven't got in digital. They haven't published them in digital. I would buy them in digital. But it's like, nope. We're going to print these. And they're like extras. And I really wanted a physical English version of Chocolate Strawberry Vanilla. So yeah, Psychedelical, even just looking at this, it makes me feel a little bit sad. Because I don't know if this is going to be something I enjoy or not. I think Bizarre Individual said that did not like it. Bizarre Individual did not like this and stopped reading it. So I kind of want to read it to see what it's like. So I don't know what it is. I have read some for March. It was part of the Buzzword Readathon, so it was about time. Pure Love Sexy Time, which I'd forgotten about because I don't like the other works that they've produced. And I was like, oh, is this going to be bad? And then I was like, oh, no, you liked this one. This one was silly. You liked this one. So, yeah, Pure Love Sexy Time. I'll talk about that in another video. But I enjoyed it. It kind of reminds me of Yarichin Bitch Club. So, yeah, Love Full of Scars. We'll see if I like it. I don't know if I will. The first box that arrived was part of a collection. So it's not the full collection, it's just the start of it. And if you're going to have a partial collection, it's good to have at least the beginning so that you can start reading it and go, oh, okay, and then try and get the rest. But also, this is a tricky one to get the full set for, so I maybe should have just tried to find one with the full set. And I have seen, if not the full set, but almost the full set sold for, well, that's the thing, I never know if it's going to be a good price. Anyway, this is what it is. 1001 Nights. And what I got was quite interesting because I didn't really know very much about it. Now, Yen Press published these, but they were originally published by Ice Kunion, and I have no idea what that is. It's just koreanmanhwa.com. Anyway, so the first 3 volumes are the Ice Kunion, and then the next 2 volumes that came in the package, I got volumes 1 through 5. The next 2 volumes were Yen Press. And then I saw online that volume 7 was being sold for, I think, £3.99. So I got volume 7. Volume 7's pretty beat up. Volumes 1 through 5 that I got as a set were in pretty good condition considering when they were published, because they are quite old titles. And I've never seen this Ice Kunion before. So I didn't really know very much about it. And I don't actually know very much about this one either. The 1001 Nights. I kind of assumed originally that it was a Netcomics one because it's Korean, but it's not. Yen Press. They have it. So I think it's really difficult to get volume 11. I think that's the final volume in the series. And I think that's the most difficult one to get. Correct me if I am wrong. But I have not actually gone out of my way to try and collect this series. But I have heard fairly good things about it. And I'm not sure if I actually want to read it. So I'm collecting it because it went on sale. So the volumes 1 to 5 I picked up for £12. And then shipping on top of that, which wasn't very much. So it was about £15 or something. So that's like £3 or just over £3 per volume. And then the volume 7, which is fairly beat up, but not too bad, it was also £3.99. So to get them for just over £3 each per volume is pretty good, I think. Even if I don't ever get the full complete set, I'm okay because I haven't read it. And that's the thing, I don't have any emotional attachment to this series yet, and I don't think I will, but I do like 1001 Nights, Arabian Nights, that kind of thing, so hopefully I will enjoy it. But I don't actually know very much about it, and I certainly didn't know about Ice Cunion, if that's even the publisher. I don't know if Yen Press published volumes 1, 2 and 3 before, or like did they do extras? I don't know. I don't actually know very much about this series. I've just seen that other people have it and that it's kind of BL-esque, maybe adjacent, which is like, okay, I'll give it a go. For that, in terms of like, oh, £3 a volume, that's really good. So yeah, happy to have it at the price that I got it. And if I don't like it, then so be it. I can always get rid of it. So yeah, that was the other one. 1001 Nights, volumes 1 through 5, and then 7. So I'll need to pick up 6 so I can read all of them. And then obviously 8 through 11 at some point. But I'm not going to stress about it. Whenever is fine. So if you've read it, let me know. Is it good? Did you like it? What do you think? I kind of want to know, is it worth it? Is it good? Is it worth me going out of my way to try and get the full set? Or is it just like, well, it sits on my shelf and I don't reread it? So that kind of thing. So yeah, let me know. I'm interested. Now, the final thing that I'm going to be showing you today, and you're like, what? Final? I saw that huge pile that you had at the beginning. That can't be final. Yes, it is. It's the last thing I'm going to show you because I bought the full set of something. So this is the whole debate, whether or not you spend the more money to ensure that you get the full set of something, even if you don't know if you're going to like it or you really want it. Or do you purchase 1 or 2 volumes to give it a go and see if you want it and then freak out because 1 volume is particularly expensive? This is the, age-old question. And I have been really thinking about it a lot for the past couple of years about trying to get a full set of something versus not. Earthian is case in point. I got a couple of volumes, but I couldn't get the 3 and the 4 for a good price. And then the full set came up for £18, which meant that each volume was an okay price. So was it better to just hold out and get the full set for a good price? But you never know you're going to. So yeah, age-old question. What comes first, the chicken or the egg? And it's the same thing. Do you buy the full set or each individual volume, which is cheaper? So this is the case. What I picked up was the full set of Let Die. That's Suyeon 1. Is that how you pronounce it? And this is Net Comics. And there is 15, I think, volumes in Let Die. This is obviously a Korean manhwa. It's a drama. It's tragic. And it's BL, Shonen Ai is how it's classed. Or at least how it was classed at that point. Now, I've seen Let Die on sale for years and just kind of was like, meh, I'm only collecting manga at the moment. I won't really focus on manhwa yet. But I've collected a lot of manga, so my kind of focus is now shifting over to the manhwa side. As I mentioned in my collection videos, I only picked up 1 Net Comics volume last year, and the year before that it was only 2 or 3. So I've kind of avoided picking up the printed manhwa BL. So yeah, this year so far, I've collected quite a few already, especially when it comes to Net Comics. Net Comics I just kind of left alone, but I have been on the lookout for a lot more now. Let Die though, I have seen, if not the full set, a very large chunk of the set for sale for a really good price. It was like 15 quid or something like that, and I never picked it up. And that was a few years ago. Because I just was like, I'll get that at some point. Especially when you see something for a good price and you think that's what it's going to cost you. So when I finally did see a lot more people talking about Let Die and how it's really tragic and how they enjoy it and how it's hard to get the full complete set. And then someone put up, I think it was the first 8 volumes for 40 quid on eBay. Someone else has got it, I think. I think they posted pictures on Twitter. And I was like, good for you. Because I saw it and thought, oh, should I bid on that? And I kind of did the calculations and it's like, well, that's £5 a volume. Can I get This is the maths that I do. Can I get those volumes for less than 40 quid, i.e. purchase each one individually? So I have done this a couple of times over the past few months when it comes to a certain series. I will go on eBay and I will look for each individual volume and what's the cheapest price I can get it for. And then I'll total that up. And then I'll look at the actual sets. And if it's cheaper to get a set than it is to get them individually, and which one is the best deal. So I looked into getting each of the different individual Let Die volumes. And the cheapest you can get a Let Die volume for at the moment was just slightly under £4. But there were 3 that were more expensive. There were 3 that was like, one was like £8 or £10. Another was like £14 or £15. And then there was one, which I think was volume 14, was 40 quid. And I was like, ugh, that's not good. So is it worth me spending £40 getting the first 8 volumes of a series, knowing that I'm going to have to shell out a huge amount, another 40 quid, just to get a single volume to be able to complete the series, when there was someone on eBay selling the set, a full set, for the same price, and they were accepting best offers. So I put in a wee offer and we did a wee haggle, and I never haggle and I never put in offers. So it was a bit like, oh, okay then, oh. So we did a wee haggle and I got some money off. So I didn't spend the full amount that they were asking for, but I still got it for a good price. So it turns out the 15 volumes I spent, I think it was like £75, which is a huge amount for me. That's a huge amount for me. I would never usually, except it works out that each volume is then £5. And I'm like, that's actually not bad at all. So as I mentioned with the 1001 Nights, they would just be just over £3. Yes, I could get like a volume 1 for Let Die for just under £5, like £4.20 or £3.90, something like that. But then have to spend 40 quid on just one single volume. Or I can get someone else's collection for a nice price where they've really wrapped it well, they've looked after it, they've loved it, and they're giving it a new home. So yeah, I went for that. So I'm really happy that I have the opportunity to be able to read this all the way through, and I don't need to stress about picking up this volume and that volume. It does take a lot of the work out of it for me, which in a way I'm happy about, and in a way it's like, oh, but it's fun searching for this, because it's the having and the getting. It's the having and the getting that I love. The whole idea about putting bids in and having the little bidding or haggling session was exciting as well. So yeah, I'm not actually all that interested in the Let Die. I know lots of people talk about it, but I've never actually looked into it. I just know that it's a tragedy type one, and I probably won't like it. It's got gangs and stuff, which means that I probably won't like it. But I might do, so I'm happy to have it in the collection though. And the fact that it's now netcomics. There you go, 15 volumes of netcomics. Just in this one, there's like another one for Love Full of Scars as well. That's a lot of netcomics in one haul. So yeah, this is the netcomics haul, I think. But yeah, let me know if you have read Let Die, if you like Let Die. Have you got a full set? How much did you spend on your volume 14, was it? I think it was volume 3 and volume 8 and volume 14 were more expensive. So keep your eye out to see if you can get them for cheaper prices. Because everything else I think you could get for just less than £5. So if you're missing certain volumes, you might be able to pick them up for cheaper. But yeah, I'm happy to have Let Die, and it's also a full complete set. So that's really good. So that is everything for the month of March. I think that ends up being, is it 24, 25 volumes? Yeah, 25 volumes. So 25 volumes, which is obviously significantly more than the 7 that I was going for. But if you take away the 2 sets, then it's, a nice little number. Yeah, it's a lot more than I obviously wanted to be buying, and it's a lot more than I obviously wanted to spend this month. But the titles that I got individually, I'm really happy about. I'm happy to have Mamiya's Dollhouse, very happy to have Love Full of Scars. I'm even happy to have Nights because it means I can actually read it rather than just using my Kindle all the time, because I like the Kindle, but I like actually having the paper version too. I'm interested in 1001 Nights, and I'm really happy that I have a full set for Let Die. So yeah, it's kind of yay. It's a nice number to have, but obviously much more than I was wanting to get, as usual. I do have a couple that have arrived that I'm excited to show, and they'll be in the April haul. I'm hoping one arrives soon for the Buzzword readathon for April. If you don't know what I'm reading, head on over to my video for April. It's Galaxy Terms. So I'm hoping that a book arrives at least at some point in April so that I can read it. So yeah, I will be having more to show in April, but it won't be anywhere near as much as this. I've enjoyed having big boxes to unwrap though. It's been fun. It made me feel like really like, ooh, get me. Because I usually just have like an envelope that comes from Thrift Books or World of Books or something like that, and it's just like a quick open that. So yeah, being able to have a big box full of books, I haven't had that in a long time, but it was kind of exciting. And I'm happy that I have these in the collection now. Not too sure when I'll get round to reading them all though. It does add more to the collection, which stresses me out because I don't like having a TBR. I'm trying to this year have like a running TBR so that I read in my collection print volumes at least just as much as I'm bringing in, so that my TBR, my overall TBR, goes down rather than keeps on increasing, because that's what's happened over the past couple of years. So yeah, do you guys have like a running TBR? Like this is my manga collection, and these are the ones that I brought in. And do you do like the calculations? I saw that in someone's reading journal, and it was like, oh, that's a really good idea to have like a running total, that you take the ones that you read away or the ones you unhaul, which never happens for me, and then you add in the ones that you've purchased and the ones that you read you take away, and so you have a running total for the year, which I think seems like a good idea. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep on top of it. But yeah, anyway, that's everything I got for the month of March. More than I wanted to, but happy to have the ones I've got. So yeah, thank you for sticking around to the end. If you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up. If you want to see what other videos I make, you can subscribe. It's up to you. I make videos about BL, yaoi, male romance, and all that good stuff. So yeah, remember, every day is a BL day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!